viewers, my name is Miguel. We're here today to share a true story of Mike, who's popularly known as the Cola Man. He's a reggae musician who has won many different awards in the past, but something happened to him earlier this year that changed his life in a new way. And we're here today to share that experience with you and talk a little bit about it. So, hi Mike.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here for you. And well, first of all, Michael, I heard that you were very sick in hospital.
Yes.
Could you tell us what happened?
March 25th, I had a sickness called brain aneurysm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of blood that flows through the vein,
Mm-hmm.
and if the vein starts getting weak, it grows something like bubbles,
Okay.
and all of a sudden it can just break out,
Okay.
and the blood start running out from the veins.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very dangerous. I heard from the doctors that 95% of people that went through this kind of aneurysm
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have the chance of survival.
Wow. Okay.
But thanks be to God that I survived it.
Indeed. Yeah. Certainly a miracle.
Yeah, it's a big miracle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, from your experience, what happened? I mean, where were you at that moment?
I was at home with a friend of mine. He's a priest.
Mm-hmm.
He's a musician like me. We were at my studio producing a gospel song.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden I felt thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to drink something, and I went to the kitchen and picked up a glass of water.
Mm-hmm.
I came back, I was watching what he was doing on the at the computer,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden I was gone, just like that, without a warning.
Mm-hmm.
Before it happens, I didn't have headache or any kind of, because I used to have a blood pressure problem,
Okay.
but if my blood pressure goes up, I used to notice it.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, everything was normal, just like I'm talking with you right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Because aneurysm, it can happen in any part of the brain in the body.
Mm-hmm.
But the most dangerous one is the brain aneurysm. Because in brain aneurysm, you don't have any warning.
Okay.
Yeah, it can just happen at any moment. So this just happened, and I lost conscious.
Okay.
And my friend noticed that something was wrong with me,
Mm-hmm.
and he tried to help me to put me to bed, and I stood up, and it was when I fell down on the floor and I lost conscious.
On the so when you said that there were no signs there, did you beforehand experience any sensations that made you aware there was in any way a problem by that sort of headaches or some
When this happened, it was when I felt a striking headache,
Mm-hmm.
a very strong headache.
Okay.
It was like someone just put a kind of light up on your brain.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so I felt so much strong burning sensation in my brain, and I couldn't concentrate anymore.
And did this get worse over time? I mean, was it something that to begin with was just very sort of mild, and it got more severe, or
No, it just came all of a sudden.
Okay.
It was a sudden kind of feeling.
Okay.
Mm.
So how long were you in the coma, roughly?
I was 5 weeks in the coma.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, one important question is that, according to many near-death experiences, many people have said that they experienced a dark tunnel. For you, what sort of what was this for you? How was this?
For me, I didn't remember seeing a dark tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw myself flying over the moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see just the smoke from the moon
Okay.
moving,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden I came to a place that looks like it's like mountains surroundings. It was very big, like football field.
Okay.
But it was just mountain, and I saw a lot of things hanging on the air, like trees, like animals, even some people wearing white. Everybody was just going in slow motion, even butterflies. It was so wonderful. You see flowers like in the garden, but everything was just hanging. There was no floor, but down you just see the moon. You see the moon. So I was trying to climb over on top of one of the mountain there.
Okay. Because
my heart says to me, if I could fly over and come on top so that I can stand on top of the mountain, because I believe that I was close to heaven. And my mind said, if I can climb over and stand there, I could see the gate of heaven. But I was trying so much to fly over, I couldn't. And I was flying from one end to another, from the left to the right, and it was so wonderful. And I felt so much peace. Everything was in harmony. The trees can speak. The butterflies can speak. And even the stones, the mountain, can talk. And everything has a sense of wisdom of God. They talk with a very big wisdom. And when I was trying to climb over the mountain, the mountain speaks to me. He spoke to me and said, Michael, what are you trying to do? And I said, I'm trying to fly over to stand on top of the mountain. And he said to me, no, it's not possible. It's not meant for you. And I said, why? He said, maybe you will understand later. And I look to my right side. I saw a group of people, like African people, like my mind told me these are my forefathers. They were singing in my local language, very strong, and was beating a drum, and they were so happy to see me. They were dancing and coming closer to me, and they were naked up and was wearing these kind of feathers, from the eagles and all that. And I came closer to them. All of a sudden, my dad came out from their back, from the group. He came out, he was laughing. I saw him and I said, Dad, he said, what are you doing here, son? I said, I don't know, I just find myself here. He said, well, these are your forefathers and they're so happy to welcome you. And he stretched out his hand and touched me on my shoulder. And immediately I changed into their costumes. Yeah, and I look exactly like my dad. We were looking like twins. And I said, oh, Dad, what did you just did? I look like you. He said, yeah, he was laughing. And he touched me again on my shoulder, and I came back like how I was before. I changed back to how I was. And I looked to my right side again. I saw my mom standing a little bit far away with my auntie. Both of them are dead. And I can communicate with them through telepathy. They were just laughing. My mom was so happy to see me. But at the same time, I tried to reach out to her, to hug her. The more I come closer to her, the more far away she seems to be. So I couldn't get to where she was standing. But she seemed so close, but I couldn't get to her. So she said, no, it's not allowed for me to come to her. Yeah? And she asked me, where are your kids? Where is your wife? I said, they're at home. And she said, you have to go back. It's not yet your time. You have to go down and take care of your kids because they are too small.
Of course, the question that we're going to get to is, would you say this was, for you, heaven?
For me, it was a paradise. Just a tip of an iceberg. How paradise might look like. Because there's this peace you cannot find on earth. Everything was so light. And if you find yourself there, you don't want to be anywhere else. And everything respects each other. The animals, the trees, the stones, every creature respect each other, and they worship God and all of them have the striking wisdom of God. When they talk with you, they talk with authority, and they communicate through telepathy. Yeah. And as I was saying, when I turned back, because I didn't want to go down, because it was so wonderful. When I turned back and I saw my father-in-law, he was in a car. This car looks like, it looks like an apple. The curve looks like an apple. It looks like something you can bite.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. It was so wonderful, and it doesn't have tires, but it's just flying.
Okay, yeah.
It flies in slow motion and came in front of me.
Yeah.
I looked inside and there was no driver, and all of a sudden from the back my father-in-law wind the screen down, and I saw it was him, and he even spoke to me in German and said, "Michael, was tust du hier?"
Okay, yeah.
"Was suchst du hier? Wo ist deine Frau? Wo ist deine Kinder?" And he said, like, "Michael, what are you doing here?
Okay.
Where is your wife and your children? You have to go down."
Yeah.
He said, "Abadali." He said, but immediately, go down immediately. As he was talking with me, he was talking with someone else on the phone at the same time. So I couldn't even say anything. So this was when I decided to go down. But before I went down, a butterfly came in a slow motion. Very big, beautiful butterfly. Came in a slow motion and came in front of me and called me by my name and said, "Michael, what are you doing here?" And everybody was asking me about my wife and my children. This was the first question everybody was asking. And he said to me I should look by the left side. I looked by the left side. I saw 7 boxes hanging on the air. And he said I should count them and tell him how many they are. I counted the boxes, and I said to him the boxes are 7. And he said, "Open number 4. I took the number 4 and opened it. I didn't see anything. He said, "What did you see?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Close it and put it back." I closed it and put it back. He said to me, "These 7 boxes are your lifespan, but you have to be careful because you are on number 4. You're now on number 4. You have to go back." He said I should look down on earth. I looked on earth. I saw the street. I saw that everywhere was snow. Everywhere it was just white on the street. He said he said, "What did you see?" I said, "Nothing. I just see snow." He said, "Look very well again." And I look, and it seems like it was zoomed closer to my eyes, and I saw some black spots on the street on the top of the snow. It seems like horses were just riding over the snow. And he said, "What did you see?" I said, "I see black spots, little black spots that are on top of the snow." He said, "These black spots are your way. You have to go down and clean them, otherwise you cannot fly more up."
Okay.
So this is when I noticed why it was not possible for me to fly over the mountain so that I can see the landscape.
The paradise.
The paradise
that was ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was not allowed, and there was many people that was flying around that place I was. So my mind said to me, it might be that people that is not yet their time to also fly over. So, and he said to me, "Okay, you can go down now." This was when I started flying down again.
Okay. Okay. The interesting thing about the boxes, when you said, what would you think the boxes portrayed in your mind? 7 boxes, perhaps something like in your life you have 7 stages. They say, of course, in 7 stages of man. Let's say.
Yeah.
Do you believe maybe in some way the boxes portrayed something like this is the 4th stage in your life at the moment? Or I mean, for you, what do you? Really
For me, I understand that before God creates a human being, it's written already how long he will stay on earth. Yeah, these 7 boxes can mean, over there I noticed that there's no time in the spiritual world. It's not. There's no years, days, weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So these 7 boxes can be 1 year. It can be, each box can be 5 years.
Okay.
It can be 10 years. I don't know. It can also be that 1 box is the what God wants me to do on earth. It can be that I have not done all of them. It can be also what it means that I'm in number 4. But there are still some certain things God still wants to use me to do on earth. That's why I have the second chance to come back to life.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And you talk about time. Time was of there was no sort of awareness of time.
There's no awareness of time. Actually, when I woke up in the hospital, I was thinking I just have a snap, and a nap. It's a nap, right?
Yes, a nap. Yeah.
A nap.
Right, yeah.
I was thinking I just had a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking maximum it should be one night, but my wife told me it's 5 weeks.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
so obviously, yeah, it was clearly, yeah, very. That's obviously clear. The experience you had. Do you think it had something to do with your Christian belief as a?
I don't think so personally, because God can reveal Himself to anyone, even to unbelievers, and God is merciful. He loves His creatures. He loves every human being, and every human being has a chance. He has a special love for everyone, even non-Christians. God loves them, and He chooses us. We don't choose Him. He chooses us. So He knows what He still wants me to do on earth, and that's why He sent me back. I don't think it has anything to do with my Christian believing.
Okay. From the experience, obviously we talk about the consciousness, and it's clear that in modern day beliefs, from what you're saying, that the consciousness is in a lot of ways linked with the soul. How real was it for you? How real did it feel? Like we're talking now. Can you explain to us how?
For me, I was with my full 100%, 120% conscious.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not. It was not like a dream. It was like real, because I've been dreaming since I was a child. I know how dreams look like, but this was just like how I'm talking with you, with all the awareness and consciousness. And I was conscious of what is happening around me. I was conscious of everything that was happening, and that's why it's still on my memory, like what just happened yesterday. You know, because if it's a dream, sometimes you wake up and you even forgot what you dreamed.
Yeah.
But this was like real, what really happened. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Because it's true. Yeah. So many of us do dream, and it seems only 5% real.
Yeah.
In its ways. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to hear that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what can we learn from your experience?
What I want people to learn from my experience, and what I have learned from my experience, is that life is precious. Life is a gift from God, and we should not try to put so much of our mind and energy into material things. This life we are living, all of us are just like passengers traveling somewhere. It's a journey. Life is a journey. But many people will drop earlier, and many people will drop out later. But it's a matter of how long your journey is. Yeah.
Like a coach journey.
It can be short.
Yeah.
It can be short. Even 1 minute, 1 second is too long for someone to lose his life. 1 second. Yeah. People should really try to give their life to Jesus Christ. People should try to be more happy, think positive, love and respect every creature of God. Before this happened, I didn't actually value different things like I was not aware of the trees and of the butterflies and all that. I know they are beautiful, but now I have so much respect, because even those creatures we don't see, they respect their creators, their creator. They respect God. Only human being that walks away from God, from their creator. But these animals and even the trees, the mountains, they still have their spiritual being, because the love, God created the world with his love, and his love is in everything he created.
Okay.
It's just like you. If you're a painter, you paint. People come and watch your paintings. They might see the message and even how you feel when you were painting. The love, your energy of that creating to paint, it's on your works.
Yeah.
And people can see it. So that's why if you want to see the energy of God, you want to see his love, you see it from the things he created. So now I see life in a different perspective. Yeah, and people should try as much as possible to live a simple life and to live in the light. Show more love, to even try, the most important thing, to forgive, to be able to forgive. Because the butterfly said to me, those black spots are your ways, and unless you go down to clean them, you cannot go more up. And those black spots he meant was like the people I don't talk with, the people I was not in good terms with, the people I offended and the people that offended me. The most important things that prevent people to make it to heaven, even the people that live a good life on earth, the most important thing that prevents them to make it to heaven is to have grudges. Even it's a human nature. If you get hurt once, the scars are still somewhere in your heart or in your soul. And anytime you see this person that offends you, it reminds you of what he did, even if it's 20 years ago. So it takes the divine, the grace of God for a human being to be able to forgive and forget. Because God, we are all sinners. If God forgives us, he forgives totally and forgets. Yeah? But human being can forgive and will not forget. And this is not total forgiveness. So what I'm talking about here is total forgiveness. To forgive and to be able to forget. And it needs the grace of God. You as a human nature, you cannot do it. So I beg everyone, if you are praying, ask God to give you the grace to be able to forgive. Because this is the only thing that can hold you down. And if you cannot be able to forgive, you cannot make it to heaven. Because it's even said on our Lord's Prayer, yeah, forgive us our sins as we forgive those who offended us. So immediately you forgive your fellow human being, God is forgiving you automatically your sins.
That's that's very true. Yeah, I think certainly. It's important to forgive. And you're right, if you can't forget, very wise, very true words in that yes.
You know, some people say to me, yeah, but this person was not nice and this person betrayed me. You can forgive this person, but it's not necessary to be friends again. Those ones that bring you to a danger, you can distance yourself from them. But let them know you are forgiving them for offending you. And those ones you offended, make sure you reach out to them and ask for forgiveness. It's very, very, very important.
And obviously, you're right. And to forget is to completely forgive.
Yeah, to forget is to completely forgive.
I think one thing that many people have a very hard time with is the forgetting part.
To forget the part.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's you told me before that when you woke up from the coma, that or just before, was it before or exactly before you woke up, you visited your wife in a dream, or?
Yeah, it was before I woke up. It was before I woke up because there was one thing that happened. My wife, I used to have an argument with her if she started complaining that I don't say to her, I love you. It's very, very important to say to your loved one, I love you. To your kids, to your wife, always say it with no reason. Because when it's too late, You will feel, you know, in the spiritual, when I was in this other life, when I was in coma, I felt sorrow.
Okay.
I said to you before, there's a difference between sadness and angry, but there's also something called sorrow. Sorrow is even deeper than being angry. It's deeper than being sad. And I think sorrow is what the spirit feels. But sadness is a human nature, and angry is also physical human. It's a reaction of physical, being angry. But sorrow is something to do with the spirit. The spirit feels sorrow. So I was so sad that I didn't tell my wife so much how much I love her. And I remembered in my consciousness that I used to argue with her that I don't say it more often. So my wish was to be able to come back and say to her, I love you. Yeah? And sometimes, even sometimes I even hear her crying, because she used to come to my hospital bed when I was in coma. She hold my hands and start crying and praying. And anytime she's there, I can see her in a spiritual way. And I can, sometimes my ear opens and I hear her voice crying. But I didn't know where the voice was coming from, but it was so loud. And she was crying and said, please come back to me now. I cannot handle my life without you. And I noticed that when somebody is in coma, it's very important that someone he loves, like his wife or his kids, should come to his ears and talk nice things, because he is still hearing it. Or play a nice music that he loves, he will hear it, and this is what will put his spirit in peace.
Okay.
Yeah. And even my wife told me that the doctors asked her to bring one of my favorite shoes. And she brought, there's a Timberland shoe that I have since 5 years ago. Sometimes they put it on my leg, and sometimes they remove it again. Sometimes they put it back again. It's just to that the body feels like, oh, this is mine. You know. So those things, I really believe that they work. If somebody is in coma, people should stay calm and talk to the person. Send him a nice energy, because spiritually, even the dead ones, if you send a nice thought, he can get the message wherever he is. And sometimes they also send nice thoughts to us.
So it also, I heard that 3 days after you woke up from the coma, something happened in your hospital room. Can you tell us about that?
What happened was, I was in my room, and all of a sudden my hospital bed started going up and down, moving up and down, and nobody pressed any button, nobody did anything. And I pressed the button to call the nurses, and they came in and the bed stopped moving.
Okay.
And I said to them, my bed is going up and down.
Yeah.
They started laughing and said, oh, it might be the tablets and the infusion that you have on your brain. Sometimes you feel like something is moving, that this is normal. I said, no, I noticed that my bed is going up and down. They didn't believe me. So they said, okay, if it goes up and down again, call us. Okay. So they were about to move out from the room. The bed started going up and down in front of them. Okay. Yeah. And I started laughing this time. And they were so scared that they have to run out and call the doctors. Okay. And they came and tried to press the button that the bed should stop, and it didn't stop. Okay. They had to go and unplug it from the socket. Okay.
Then it stopped them.
And it stopped them. And they have to change the bed immediately for me, and they brought another bed. Okay. And at this moment I know that it was the spirit from my mom. My mom was giving me a sign that she knows that I made it, that I came back. Yeah. And one of the nurses said to me, are you not scared that your bed is moving up and down? I said, why should I be scared? I'm just coming back from the dead. So why should I be scared?
So you say it was sort of a celebration to say, you know...
Yeah, it was sort of celebration, because the spirit talks with us in different kind of ways. Yeah, they have to make that you notice that they are around.
Yeah.
And at this time I had so much protection. Even after I woke up from the coma, sometimes my ear opens and I still hear the sounds from the spiritual world. So because my consciousness was still connected from where I was coming from.
Okay.
You know?
So that's clear. Yeah. It was kind of, in a way, it was see you later, not yet. Then in a way, for you,
Yeah,
was,
kind of.
you know, yeah, a good sort of. It was good to see you, but
Yeah.
we'll see you soon, but
Yeah.
not yet.
Not yet.
That's okay. So do you think that you know, you came back for a reason?